When I was a little kid, entering a shopping center was the most terrifying adventure. So many different sections of clothing, shoes, and purses were all mixed up together, and everything seemed the same. I had no sense of fashion whatsoever. As a young child, holding my mom's hand with my sweaty palms was evidence enough of the tension I felt while being in a clothing store. But as I grew older, shopping became not terrifying at all. I had more chance to shop for what I actually wanted to wear, and had the opportunity to teach myself fashion. Shopping rather became the most interesting hobby that I participated in. And for me, writing a paper is like shopping for the right clothes that fits perfectly on my body. A well-written paper has nice hook, thesis, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. It goes the very same way for shopping for the right clothes. First, you need to find the store that catches your eye, and then you need to have an overall idea of what you're going to buy. Next, you need to find individual items that could complete your outfit and also the ones that you could mix and match. And finally, having all of them together and making the finishing touches by wearing them together makes the complete look. My first exhibit for the portfolio is about analyzing a snapshot of the famous cooking reality television show, Hell's Kitchen. The process of writing this paper was very similar as the first-time shopper, since this paper was the very first paper that I wrote in college. In this paper, I had to find the individual components that would make the paper thorough, which can be easily compared with trying to look through the windows of different stores and going into the one that interests you the most when shopping. However, even though you find the right store, you do not have any idea of where to even begin. So the analyzing of the shop begins. Since this paper was the first one, even with other people's peer reviews and self-revising, it did not contain the completeness that would satisfy me. After gaining some experience, now I have created my own style of wearing clothes as well as gained the ability to write a paper that would contain uniqueness, which would reflect my personality. So for the second exhibit, the completeness of the paper is greater than that of the first one. I have improved so much in grammar and word choices that help make my paper look professional. When you go out for a dinner date at a fancy restaurant, you prepare about 2 to 3 hours in advance to make sure that you look and feel perfect. Right before you head outside your house, you check yourself for the last time at the mirror right before you place your foot outside the doorstep to have the one last final glance. Self-revising the paper acts almost the same way as checking yourself before heading outside of the door. You read over the paper right before turning it in to be graded. It might seem like everything looks perfect and everything is placed in the right place when you've been writing it for past 2 hours. However, when you look at the same thing over a long period of time, you do not see the most obvious mistakes, such as missing articles, usage of incorrect tenses, having commas spliced and run-on sentences, and any incoherence in the paper. Now that I know how to fix my own mistakes, I can help others by peer reviewing and leave comments that will help improve their papers, like a Parisian helping fashion tourists. Since many of us have the same problems in writing, I know exactly where to find mistakes and how to fix them. Even if all that a person has is some disgusting clothes, if it matches from the head to toe, then the person will look decent. So when I peer review other papers, I tend to make the comments that would make it coherent for the entire paper. For the workout of the portfolio, I have chosen to use the poem Ray of Hope to emphasize and attract readers from what it felt like when I shopped or wrote my paper for the first time. In both times, I tried to seek one ray of hope that shone in the pitch black darkness of disaster. Trying to have a sense of fashion and skills to write a paper are both extremely hard, especially when they take up so much of my time. However, after taking this English 1101 class, my fear of writing paper went away slightly. The beginning is the halfway point to the finishing line. Not even starting because of the fear that I had beforehand would not have led me to the finish line. Since failure is the mother of success, I can say to myself that I have succeeded in my writing.